Welcome to the Spin Industry Show. I'm your host, Kevin. And today's show, we're going to talk about e-bikes. Why one is probably a good idea for you, and why it's not cheating to ride an e-bike. Now, if you're still here, you're still watching this video, you probably fall into one of three camps. Feel free to leave in the comments below which one you might be. A, you're e-bike curious, and you're like, tell me more, Kevin. Two, you're already an e-bike believer, and you're like, oh, let's grab the popcorn, see where this is going. Or, lastly, you're one of those Richard Cranium types with a tender and fragile ego that just can't handle being passed by somebody. Hey, and if you're somebody else, tell me in the comments. We're all good with it. I said what I said about e-bikes. Let me tell you my story from last week. What had happened was, all right, obviously, I'm at least 50 pounds overweight, at least. 60 years old. I've got 2 wrecked knees. But by God, I love riding bicycles. So part of my arsenal is an e-bike. And because of that being in my quiver, my tool chest, I was able to get in almost 14 hours of training last week. Despite all these obvious shortcomings of mine. And make no mistake, it was training, it was fitness. Maybe it's not the same impact as 14 hours of a traditional bike like I'm riding today, but right now, I just can't do that. After Friday's ride, I was absolutely wrecked. Some true Type 2 fun. And I had another ride Saturday. Hopped on the e-bike, still worked at my zone 2 area. Even though my knees were trashed from the day before, I was able to do a light spin for 40 something miles, keep my heart rate where it was supposed to be, and not abuse my knees, and hang out with some friends. That's a win-win. Now that we have those formalities aside, here's who the real target audience for this video is, who I am really encouraging to consider an e-bike, are those people. I know you're out there. You used to be a very, very passionate cyclist, riding and training tens of hours a week, maybe racing, maybe going out and doing true bucket list events. And then life happens, right? Happens to all of us. And you've been off the bike for a while. Maybe a very long while. But you're still into it. You want to be riding. But you know how much it takes to get back in proper form and ride with your buds. Ride all day long. Ride multiple days in a row all day long. Stuff you really dig. That you can't just hop on a bike after a couple years of not riding for whatever reasons. There we go, there's our shade. The short story is the e-bike lets you do those things and build your fitness in the process. I'm not saying you have to use the e-bike to get back on a traditional bike and do what you used to, but if you want to, it gives you the opportunity. If you want to do the e-bike just to go out and do the things you used to do that for whatever reason you can't now, take advantage of it. It makes your day a better day. It makes your week a better week. It makes your life a better life. It makes your life a better life. let's say it a third time, it makes your life a better life. Everyone's welcome to use an e-bike however best works for them. The main thing is get out and do what you know you love to do. It lets you do that again. Like right now, my routine, yeah, I'm trying to get back to where I was in capability. We went through this last lap. Try not to spray mud everywhere. Yeah, my hope, it's too early to call it a goal because I don't know what my realistic potential is. My hope is that I'm able to do multi-day 100+ mile bikepacking rides again. Make no mistake, it was tough to get in shape for that when I was younger. Knees were healthier and I was much lighter. It's not an automatic. I got some stuff stacked against me now. And in the meantime, the e-bike lets me pick up the slack. I get to ride with my friends on fun rides, not racing them, where I don't have to be 30 minutes off the back of them or more. Ministry pop-up rides, I get to lead the fast group out and make sure they make that first turn. That's kind of cool. Never got to do that before. So like the way I'm using my e-bike presently, essentially long rides are e-bike. And what my body's telling me is how much assist I throw into the mix to make my ride. Generally speaking, I'm shooting for lowest assist possible and greatest range possible. Basically, if a ride's over 2 hours, I'm at the moment riding the e-bike. If it's under 2 hours, I'm trying to ride a traditional bike. If I'm really strapped for time and gotta stay closer to an hour, I'll usually just hop on the indoor trainer. But that's my use case because of my issues, and boy do I have issues. You do you. Don't let anyone tell you different. If you miss riding the bike, get an e-bike and get back on the bike. That's the short story. Today we are at Marine Creek Lake Trailway, something like that. Gonna be warm today. Heat index up over 100. So I am working on some heat acclimation because I'm not acclimated yet. And this trail is, it's fair to say, partially shaded. Partial shade over half of it. A couple of good stretches of solid shade. It's late morning, so we're not going into the hottest part of the day, but I'm feeling it. So the base loop out here, and like I said, it's probably half-ish shaded. So there are a few wide open sections with zero shade, lots of patchy shade like this, and a couple sections of solid shade. But the regular loop is right about 6 miles. You can do offshoot spurs, out and backs that go off into neighborhoods and stuff like that. And that got me up over 9 miles on my first loop. But I hate out and backs. Hate's too strong of a word. I'm not a big fan of out and backs. That said, like right up here, there's a couple of other spurs I'll check out next time. My goal is just to stay in my heart rate zone as the temperatures climb and get in 90 to 120 minutes. And we're going to pull that off. And since I'm not acclimated yet, the partial shade helps tremendously. But not the Saharan dust. Yep, that dust is blowing in. I can feel it. Holy moly. All right, we're on the home stretch. We got one switchback climb up to the top of the dam, and then our one gravel section. And there's even porta-johns conveniently placed throughout. It's a handy dandy place. It's pretty high traffic though from the non-cyclists, particularly over there on the north and the east side of the lake by the neighborhood and the college. I mean, it was late morning on a weekday and this was pretty crowded my first lap. But a nice, safe place to ride. Convenient parking, porta-johns, no traffic. Top of the list. Yeah, I'm warm now. It's time to pull the plug on this. All right, 21.1 miles. .6 mile per hour average. And ride, and an hour 40 and 40 seconds, right in that sweet spot.